So last night as I did my chores, one of the pups put on quite a show for me. It just took my breath away. I stood back here and felt chills from watching him. And I was going to write that up in a blog, and I will write it, but I wanted to come back here and give a real perspective to what went on. So as the backstory, as I always put it, there are 9 7-month-old puppies here, and I do what I call transitional training, which means that I move them in and out of a variety of fields with a variety of partners, with a variety of livestock, change it up all the time, giving them new challenges and building brave and versatile dogs. Yeah, this field is back way up farther than my camera wants to go, is my house. This field goes all the way back to the tree line, is the field, one field on the property. It's big, but it has the most predator pressure of any field on the property, maybe with the exception of that, but actually no, it does. And I have never been willing to put young dogs out here without an adult because of the predator pressure. Up the hill, so if the pasture's there, about there was a video taken, or a photo taken on a game cam of a mountain lion fighting with a bear. I later learned that the bear won. Right up the hill is where that is. We have a herd of about 30 to 60 elk that show up here on the ranch a lot, and for some unknown reason, they like to put pressure on that back fence line and push at. I don't know if they've ever been in this field. I've never seen them in here, but they always harass whatever dogs are here. Lupine, so yesterday, in order to move one dog up into the main barn, I had to shuffle dogs all around, and there are considerations about splitting up partner dogs and just a bunch of stuff. So I ended up with 2 of the 7-month-old pups right behind the post. Sorry about that. With Isla, who's an adult dog, and Lupine and Sage in this field by themselves, which I wasn't altogether comfortable with because they think they're big dogs, but they're not. They're still babies. Next door, yes, there's a tummy of a baby. This is the orange back rosy female. Over there, again behind a post, is Hannah. She's an adult. And there's another Milan, her adult partner is in there. So there's protection for the pups in this field on that side. And Isla is an adult over there with the 2 7-month-old pups. But her field goes, I don't know if you can tell, doesn't go the whole way. It ends out in the middle, and this field is an L shape. So here's my story. So I was up there in that green roof building, or green barn, in the barn, putting hay in my Kubota, and I heard these dogs just light off, and the whole ranch was barking. And up there on the high side of the donkeys, there you go, are 2 dogs in one field, 2 dogs in the next field, 2 dogs in another field, and then you've got these 3 pups, and then the 2 pups, and then the 2 dogs next door to me, and then you have, they're just everywhere. And there's a bark that is an alert bark that says something's out there, and then there's what we lovingly call the holy shit bark, which says there's really something here. And that's what was happening. Back here, the dogs that were able to had charged towards that back fence line, and one of the dogs was racing back and forth along the fence line. I could see shadows back there, but I wasn't sure what it was. It was rainy, it was late in the day. I wasn't sure, and I became worried about the safety of these 2 pups. So I came flying back here in said Kubota, and saw that the dogs were safe, but that there was something back there. So I went down the road, which I don't know if you can tell, but I went down the road and around the corner back there, and I saw the 30 elk headed up into the trees. What had happened was that the elk showed up and they made their way across through the tree line this way. The dogs alerted to them. The pups here in these two fields have not been exposed to the elk before that I know of. And when I got here, I drove back and saw them. Then I came up here to check on the dogs. And what I saw was amazing. Lupine was against the back fence back there, racing back and forth, back and forth. He's only 7 months old. His partner dog went about halfway back with him at the time that I saw her. She barked and alerted, and the other dogs were barking and alerting. Lupine didn't bark. Lupine was on patrol, in charge. He would jump up on his hind legs and leap up in the air, kind of, which is a maneuver that's designed to make the dog look bigger than he really is and shows a lot of vigor. And he took on that whole group. He pushed them back all on his own, just simply by his body and his posture. The other dogs barking, I mean, it was just quite remarkable. And I think maybe reason 352B about how amazing I think these dogs are and what they do all on their own. They all have different guarding styles. Lupine has always been very environmentally bold. He likes to work. He doesn't care if anybody goes with him. He doesn't need anybody else. He just goes to work. And that is him snoozing over there after a busy night. I went ahead and left him in here overnight, even though I know the predator pressure increases at night. But that guy clearly hasn't handled. And he's got a lot of backup around the edges of him. His partner is no slouch in the guarding dog business. Let's see if I can get her here. All right, sometimes it's hard to find with the camera. There she is. So it was pretty remarkable, pretty beautiful sight. Now, he has shown a lot of really early aptitude as a guardian dog about environment. Does that mean he's a better guardian dog than the other pups? Not in my estimation, it doesn't. What it means is that at this snapshot period of time, he's ahead of the curve for the rest of them. They all learn at different rates. They catch up with themselves. I'm really impressed with this boy. And I admired what he did last night, and I'm glad I got to watch it, and I thought I would share it with you. So sorry for the rough verbal content. I've got 16 things on my mind, but I wanted to come out and share where he was and what he did. And that's the tree line as close as I can get it. But all along there, the elk were. Pretty cool, nice job.